Ladies and gentlemen, today we have some amazing news to go over. We have multiple leaks to get into, we have some Nintendo Direct news, some games that are going to be shown off at the Direct, we have some Xbox news, and it's quite a lot to get into. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So the first half of 2024 was decent this year for gaming. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't anything bad per se. Now that June is here, everything has been flipped upside down, and we're getting massive amounts of leaks and information and news and reveals daily. Well, besides that Sony State of Play. The Astro Bot game was good, but it wasn't that good of a presentation. So we have some Nintendo leaks and some Xbox news to go over today, so before we get into it, if you could hit a like and subscribe. We have like 450 subscribers to go or something, to 10,000, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. Once we hit 10K, we are basically as big as Mr. Beast. So subscribe if you can. And let's go and get right into it. So I thought I was going to wake up today and see the news that there was a Nintendo Direct announced maybe for tomorrow or the day after. And while I want a Nintendo Direct to happen, like we all do, I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't want it to happen this Tuesday because I'm going to be on an airplane about the same time a Direct would happen. And I like live streaming with you guys and reacting to it and making videos about it. So I know that's selfish, but I would much rather it happen next week or maybe even at the end of the month. I think the end of the month kind of would be better. That way it's only Nintendo we're focused on, not Sony and Microsoft and everything else that's been going on lately. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. If you would have asked me, I definitely would have said it was going to happen this week. And I think we covered some leaks or some rumors that it was going to happen this week. But that's just not the case. So this is a leaker based out of Spain, and I know I'm just saying like, oh, a leaker based out of Spain. But this guy has got tons of stuff, super accurate, way before it happened. I think he leaked like Metroid Dread like a month before it was even revealed and some other stuff. So when they leak something, it's normally like pretty credible information. There is no Nintendo Direct this week. It's at the end of the month, and as far as I know, the exact date isn't even certain yet. So Nintendo is probably seeing how everything played out with Sony and with Microsoft, seeing what they announced, and then they're probably doing it for two reasons. One, they wanted to see what was announced, and two, they just want everybody to be focused on strictly Nintendo. And at the end of the month, I think that works out perfectly. Like I already said, I want it to happen at the end of the month because I'll be able to focus more on it. But I also do want it to happen a little bit more soon, because as soon as this Direct is done and we learn what's going on, well, since this is probably the last Direct for the Switch, then we can all be focused on that Switch 2 reveal. So this is a very special Direct for those reasons. Now we have covered 1 million games that could be potentially leaked at this Direct. And there really is so many options. I've covered myself a handful of leaks, and while a lot of these are credible, they also seem very possible. It's not like there's been any crazy games like The Legend of Zelda Skateboarding or a Super Mario version of Grand Theft Auto. All the games we've covered seem like they could actually happen. And we have another game to add, I guess, to that growing list. This is coming from another leaker, so even though the state is wrong because obviously this Direct isn't happening June 11th, a version of Xenoblade X for Nintendo Switch will be revealed on June 11th. The date we just went over is wrong. I've said it's wrong like 5 times. I don't know how to get out of this sentence. Let's move on. It is the same source that told us that there is a Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer at the Xbox Game Showcase today. So, I guess that came true. Actually, you know what? I didn't even watch the Xbox Showcase. I don't know if that happened. All I cared about was hearing about Fable, and a couple other things that I've seen like secondhand. So you guys have to let me know if Metal Gear Solid Delta was revealed at the showcase or not. I don't know. Maybe this isn't even credible anymore. I'm basing this off that happened, but I don't even know if that happened. But I heard a couple months ago that Nintendo was going to bring some more Xenoblade Chronicles to the Switch. The series is actually a lot more popular than you might think, and I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is severely underrated. Like, I'm not saying the game sold awfully or did bad, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 it's up there in like the top 25 Switch games. And you're saying, top 25? Man, that's not even that high. But you have to remember, there's legit 12,000 Nintendo Switch games. And out of that 12,000, there's like a good solid 500. So being in the top 25 is pretty special. So off the top of my head, we've got some Star Fox, F-Zero, Xenoblade, Zelda, Mario. So if this direct even has a quarter of all these leaks and rumors we went over, well, then it's going to be pretty special. In the comments below, let me know what games you're expecting to see or that you think we might see at this next Nintendo Direct. So if you would have asked me about a week ago how well Xbox is doing in the current gaming landscape, I would have just politely said they could do better. I used to be a Nintendo and Xbox fan, that was it. Like, I just like Nintendo and Xbox. Now I just play Nintendo and PlayStation. It's not because I don't like Xbox anymore, it's just because they don't have much to offer. But that Xbox showcase really changed everything, and even though I haven't seen it personally, I know it was a banger of a presentation. And we have some Xbox news to go over today that I think can play out with maybe Game Pass coming to the Switch, and some other stuff as well. So IGN interviewed Phil Spencer after the presentation, and we have two things to go over. Speaking with IGN after the recent Xbox game showcase, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer elaborated on the company's plans for both Xbox customers and players on other platforms. Spencer stated that the company is committed to offering its users the opportunity to buy or subscribe to its first-party titles. Spencer then remarked that Xbox will also support its games on other screens, before confirming that players are going to see more of our games on other platforms. So when he's saying he's offering its users the opportunity to buy or subscribe to its first-party titles, obviously buy is whatever, but subscribing, like, he wants games to go to other platforms and he wants people to have the opportunity to buy or subscribe to them. I think he's really trying to push Game Pass on other consoles. And I think it really will come to the Switch or come to Nintendo consoles relatively soon. Now that can mean in the next 12 to 24 months, but I think I really could see that happening. Xbox and PlayStation have this weird vendetta against each other where they're both kind of petty and both don't want to work with each other. Like that new Horizons Lego game, that's going to the Switch. So we're getting like a first-party PlayStation title on the Switch, but it's not going to Xbox, which is very strange to me. And it just shows how like petty both companies are. But I think with this major showcase they just had, and Nintendo's probably seeing all these amazing games, that we probably could get Game Pass, or just at the bare minimum, a lot of these other games they showed off. At least on the Switch too, where the hardware is more capable. I love handheld gaming, that's why I love the Switch so much, and while I talked crap about it at first, I'll admit, I was a hypocrite. I think I would enjoy the PlayStation Portal now, and PlayStation is supposedly working on a native PlayStation handheld console that takes real games. So Nintendo's taken care of, PlayStation's taken care of, well, what about Xbox? Phil Spencer fuels rumors about an Xbox handheld console, and I believe this was in that same exact interview with IGN. The interviewer brought up the idea of a portable Xbox console and the company's philosophy on going where the players are. Phil's response was simply, so we should have a handheld? I think we should have a handheld too. To be honest, I think that handheld is probably already done, and I think it's going to be a Game Pass powerhouse. I could see them strictly building a Game Pass handheld console. If you just had a Game Pass handheld console, I think it would do incredibly well. And I think you can get Game Pass on the Steam Deck and other stuff already, but Microsoft could probably make the best version of it. You know, it's their software. We talked about some Nintendo news and some Xbox news. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you can, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I would really appreciate a follow, because I love this community and it's really cool that we're growing. And you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.